What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Climb Together podcast. I'm your host, Tony, here with my co-host, Deception. Deception, say hi.
What up?
Another week, another podcast. This is like episode 87, which is sick.
Yeah.
I forgot to change my title, so give me like 2 seconds. But we're getting there. Only 13 more episodes. Excuse me. Until 100.
Yeah, you're good at math.
Yep. I am in college, so hopefully, that pays off. But sometimes it doesn't, so, yeah, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit, so it's what they say these days or whatever. Says as a 21-year-old. Um
I was gonna say that.
as someone who generation shapes these days. But we've quite a bit to talk about. First things first, I have my desk finally. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. Um, Everything that I wanted it's here. Um, I need I'd say like a couple more days, and then I'll probably do like a room tour, setup tour. Um, because she's looking nice. She's looking real nice. Um, she's got so it's like a corner desk. I mean, Deception has seen a picture, but it's like a
Yeah.
corner desk, and then it's got a little shelf down there. The shelf down there has like my PlayStation, my Switch, my PS2, books, games, and then the top of the desk is very cluttered right now because of homework, but normally pretty clean. And then I've got like the stand for my controllers and headsets and whatnot. And then I finally got my boom arm back. It's been what, 2 years plus since I've had my boom arm. So she's back and beautiful as ever. She needs a little cleaning, but that's beside the point. So we'll be playing around with the sound here for the next like couple streams, just to kind of like find an equilibrium here. But yeah. There's been a lot going on in just the world of gaming and just the world in general. So yeah, let's talk about it, I guess. It's kind of why we're here. Let me just scroll back up in our DMs to kind of get a timeline of how things are going. Wednesday. So this past weekend was the early access to the Black Ops 6 beta. This weekend there's another access. It's open access, so hopefully I'll be able to play a little bit. But I mean, we talked about God Next last week, and it looked promising, and it showed to be promising. I really haven't. I haven't played, to be honest, because I was working
I
all
was gonna say
weekend.
you didn't play.
Yeah. I didn't play.
Better luck next weekend.
Yeah, I'll try to get in this weekend. I don't know what day does it start this weekend.
It starts Friday.
I might be able to play Friday. I think I'm just gonna be streaming, so maybe I'll Nox the GTA 5 and play
Friday
some
to
God.
Monday.
Maybe I'll play some off stream or something. At the very
I'd be
least.
down to play it.
At the very least, I'll play some off stream.
I played it quite a bit.
Good. What are your initial thoughts so far?
Omni movement is the best movement system we've had outside of jetpacks.
Outside of jetpacks?
I mean, jetpacks obviously add like verticality to it, but I mean, the way that Omni movement works, it almost feels like you have a jetpack that only works on the ground. That's what it feels like.
Gotcha. So
Like,
it's pretty.
it's crazy.
So from what I've seen, it's
Like,
really fast paced kind of stuff.
like with the thing about Omni movement is like with every other like movement system we've had, like whether it's like MW2's really slow, just yucky movement system, or like slide canceling or whatever, there was always something about the movement that felt a little clunky because there was always something it felt like you couldn't do, even if you didn't know what it was. And I don't think we realized what we couldn't do until we had Omni movement and we can sprint, slide, dive in like any direction. because like there are literally like situations that I never thought I would get
Mhm.
in a COD game that happened during this beta, and it was great.
Good.
Um, like there was one time I was trying to. There was one time on the skyline where I was trying to
Mhm.
push into this. I was trying to push into this hill because it was in this it was in this room, and I got one kill, and I heard another guy. I heard a guy like slide out, and so my instinct was to go prone to drop shot him,
Yeah.
but he slid out and hit the first couple bullets on me. But instead of, I had my stick already moved back because I was going to go prone for him. And as I moved my stick back and hit the button, instead of me going prone like I would in another game, I slid backwards and killed the guy because he completely got lost at me sliding backwards.
Damn. All right. All
Like
right.
that, something like that would never happen in another game, and like it's
Absolutely not.
crazy some of the stuff that happens in Black Ops 6. I've seen some insane clips.
Good. Yeah, me too. I mean, I was watching Scump play yesterday, and he was just going crazy. Same thing
I've
with
seen some
like,
insane clips of
especially
Shotzi.
with
Like
like
I was
sniping
watching some
too.
Shotzi clips of like Krim was playing, uh, Krim was playing, and he was watching Shotzi at the same time. And like when Krim would die, he would watch Shotzi, and Shotzi would do something crazy, and Krim was going nuts. And I was like, this is a crazy game.
Yeah. Um, but I mean, like the sniping for this game, insane. I've already seen some
Sniping feels so good,
like
bro.
I've been seeing some insane clips from sniping. So,
That the whole system of you can one shot from the chest up is beautiful.
mhm.
Because like there's no inconsistency now. Like
No.
I know if I hit that guy in the chest, he's dead.
Mhm. There's no. Oh, maybe. Who knows?
There's not, like I said in the last podcast, there's not. It's not like there's going to be a sniper that's like a really fast firing one, but it's like a hit marker machine. Or there's not going to be like a really slow gun that gets good one hits, but like it doesn't feel good
Mhm.
like because you like aim too slow.
Yeah.
Like, and that's also something on the attachment system is like you'll see it when you play, but there's basically no cons on any of the attachments.
Good.
There's a couple attachments that have cons, but it's only because they have so many pros.
Mm.
Like, for
It's a
example,
balancing
like
thing.
for one of the things that I hated and about like the Modern Warfare games
Mhm.
is it felt like you couldn't run extended mags because it hurt your movement speed.
Yeah.
And in this game, no magazine hurts your movement speed.
Nice.
Um, like the big extended mag hurts your ADS speed a little bit,
But that I feel like
but
that's
it
pretty
doesn't hurt your
understandable.
movement speed.
I feel like that's pretty understandable though. I mean, you have to have some sort of
Yeah, I
balance, you
would.
know.
I like the whole balance of it hurting your ADS speed a little bit because I don't want
Mm.
people to have like 20 bullets in a sniper,
Yeah.
which is nice. But like for example, on like the LR762, the extended mag, the second extended mag gives you 10 bullets, but it hurts your ADS speed a little bit. It actually, when
Yeah.
I stacked quick draw grip on it, it actually didn't feel half bad, but it felt better without it. But like the
Yeah.
first extended mag gives you 7 bullets instead of 5, but
Mhm.
it only hurts your reload speed like a little bit. That's it. It just hurts your reload speed a tiny bit.
Damn.
It doesn't do anything else. Like I love the attachment system because of that stuff. Like there's a lot of attachments. Like there's some barrels that I think might be kind of insane in especially in Warzone because there's like a couple barrels that do like +3 bullet velocity with no downsides,
Mhm.
like +3 damage range with no downsides.
Damn.
And like the quick draw grip, for example, that I talked about on the sniper is
Mhm.
on like every gun, and it does +3 ADS speed with no downsides.
Even Hug said your slide kill was pretty badass. So,
Oh, dude, I didn't even know she saw that low key. That was a crazy kill. Like
dude, I
that,
can't wait to get my hands on this game.
dude. I'm telling you, like the game is really fun to play, but also a very something that's very indicative of how competitive is going to go this year. Is
Mhm.
this game is fun to watch. I could sit and
Oh,
watch people play this game all day. Like I don't even
that's
have to play it.
that's a good thing to have for a game, honestly. Especially
Like
like
I
Call
was,
of
I
Duty.
was like when I wasn't playing and I wasn't streaming, I was watching other people's streams and I was just sitting watching. I was like, this is great.
Oh
I love
hell
watching.
yeah. That's Yeah, that's gonna make this game very successful, I think, is the fact that it's very watchable. Yeah, I didn't play it all, but I did watch quite a bit.
Just the
Mainly,
sheer clip potential of this game is insane.
yeah. But because I didn't pre-order the game, because girl, she broke, she pretty broke. Like, rent was taken out yesterday. I'm officially a broke
Mm.
bitch again. Um, I was up there for a minute. I was like, yeah, I'm chilling. Like, I've got some money in my bank, and then I was like, oh, bills. That's a thing. Um, so, the cycle of life and the economy.
Oh,
Um, anyway, but I'm really
yeah, not
excited to.
me spending $100 on Black Ops 6. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really do that, but you know what? That's why we have you on the podcast is you do stuff like that so we can get that insider information. It's really a business write-off if you think about it.
You just wait till Zombies comes out because most of the, I mean, yeah, the operators are cool, but like the guns and stuff, like the skins are awesome, but like there's a lot of zombie centric stuff in the game
Mm.
in the Vault Edition, like the Gobblegum pack.
Ooh.
Um, I don't know how many are in it. I don't know if you get like one of every Gobblegum. Like I don't know. We'll find out on launch or when we find out more about zombies. But I'll really figure out if the Vault Edition is worth it or not when it launches because there's a lot of zombie stuff in it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You're killing it though. I mean $100 for a video game. What? I said okay English. Yeah, I can't today. But $100 for all that is pretty not that bad. I mean, considering the game's $70.
If you're a zombies player, it's very worth it
Yeah,
for you.
yeah.
If you're not a zombies player, I could totally see you not spending $100 on the Vault
Hmm.
Edition. Like, but if you're a zombies player, I think it's worth it.
Especially since there hasn't been that good of a zombies game in since Black Ops Cold War. I think is like the last like decent one, good
Even
one.
then, I would say that game was a little divisive, but I think
Yeah,
overall it was great. I mean, you gotta tip Cold War for the gameplay. Like
yeah.
the gameplay was great on that game. Like whether you thought the Easter eggs were too easy or high rounds were too easy or you didn't like the story or whatever, like you have to commend the gameplay.
I
They
think
nailed the gameplay.
I think that game could have been so much better if not had been for the pandemic. And I think I say this every time we talk about it, but it's just so true
I
because
think
that
that and
game.
Vanguard.
Yeah, I mean those two games had so much potential, like the time periods that they were in, and like the game is.
Yeah, I really thought that Sledgehammer was gonna kill it with another World War II
Yeah,
game. Like I was low key excited for
they
Vanguard, and it
almost
kind of
did though. They almost did. It's just like they just didn't have the resources needed.
their post launch support for that game was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like their launch for it was actually pretty good. Like they had
Mhm.
16 maps on launch. That was
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
Like for how much time they had to work on that game. But like their post launch support was really bad.
Yeah.
They had some cool stuff in post launch support, but it wasn't like their MW3 post launch
Mm-mm.
support. Their MW3 post launch support was crazy.
Damn, guys, give me a nickel every time Deception said post launch support in that sentence.
I don't know. I think Cold War had kind of like meh post launch support too. Like it wasn't as bad as Vanguard, but like there were a couple seasons in Cold War where it felt like there was nothing.
Yeah.
Like season 4 Reloaded, for example, is when Mauer Token came out. That doesn't come out in season 4 Reloaded, and season 4 Reloaded is terrible. Like the only reason that season like was even half good was Mauer.
Mhm.
So I think Cold War was sort of like I think a learning year for Treyarch. They had a lot of new people going into Cold War on their team, and especially with like Kevin Drew heading the zombie stuff.
Mhm.
And I think they'll do a lot better this year. Um, I'm excited for zombies.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Um, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be really good. Um,
I just think Black Ops 6 in general is going to be good. Now,
mhm.
the Omni movement might make pubs a little sweaty. Like
Yeah,
I
but
could
I feel
I
like
I could see like high skill based matchmaking lobbies just being way too crazy.
oh yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
it'll be fun to watch. Regardless of if it's fun to play or not, it'll be very fun to watch. I think at least. I don't know. I just like I love the Omni movement. Like, I think it's amazing. But there are some people that said it was like clunky. Um, but I don't know. That's like a settings thing. There's like that's another thing is there's like way more settings in that game for like movement and stuff.
Nice. Hold on, guys.
So if it feels clunky, you can fix it.
It's true. Yeah, the amount of things that they have in that game right now is insane. It's awesome.
I actually thought that beta was a really good beta overall. I didn't get a whole lot of like I had a couple issues on the first day, but I felt like it was more my game specifically related than an overall game issue.
Yeah.
But like I didn't really like crash. I got a couple dev errors loading into lobbies, but
I mean,
overall I would say that's a better beta experience than normal.
true. True.
I mean, you look at like Cold War and Vanguard beta when we were like scanner repairing out of every game.
Yeah. Dude, that was so bad. So
Dude, I remember just a little tangent. I remember in the Vanguard beta on the hotel map, me and Wyatt talked about it when we were playing the beta a couple days ago. There was a hotel map on Vanguard where every time Wyatt would always go, I don't know why he did this, but he would always go to this one corner to reload, and every time he would go to reload, as he was finishing reloading, he would get scanner repaired out of the game. It was funny. Fantastic. That's Vanguard for you.
All right. Sorry about that. Riz and I were figuring out plans for later, so I had to take a second. But I don't know. I think this is gonna be a good year for Call of Duty. I mean, we say that like every year, but
I don't know. I genuinely think it's going to be a good year. Like, I was skeptical about like Vanguard MW2, MW3. Like, as much as I had high hopes, I was also skeptical.
bye. I love
But
you.
like, this is a Treyarch game, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
I think.
they always deliver.
I mean, Modern Warfare 3 was good for like the first couple months, and then it was good competitively. It's probably one of the better
Yeah, I
competitive
like
games
the
that we've
Modern
seen in the
Warfare
past few
3
years.
is like the only game I've watched since Cold War competitively, basically throughout the whole season. I kind of checked out of Vanguard and MW2 for the most part,
Yeah.
like later.
Yeah. So I mean, you win and you lose. So
Uh, I mean, it's kind of funny because like back in Vanguard, it wasn't that great of a game to watch, but the competition was amazing.
yeah.
Like I would argue that's the best competition we've ever had in COD is like in Vanguard, like because basically any team could have won an event.
It's
Um,
true.
like even LAG won an event, and they were like really they have not been a good team before or since then.
You're like they sucked.
And they won an event, so but like it's just funny how that game was so like meh to watch, but the competition was great. This game, the competition was pretty bad. Like outside of the top four, it was just a foregone conclusion who was gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
But like the game was fun to watch.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be one of those things. I think after this weekend we should do like a really deep dive into um the
Yeah, once you
beta
get to play it a
success.
little bit.
Yeah. I want to be able to play it a
Yeah.
little bit. Then I can give like a little bit more opinion. Because right now I'm kind of just giving based off of what I've seen.
It'll be the same thing like with you and X Defiant.
Yeah.
You never got to play it, and I kept telling you how good it was, and then
Yeah.
you finally played it, and you were like,
I
"Oh,
was like,
this is
oh
great."
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. That was like a year ago now. The first time I played X Defiant. That was kind of crazy.
It was over a year ago.
It was September of 2020.
Oh yeah, you didn't get to play the betas.
Mhm. Mhm.
You didn't get to play it. Yeah, the first time
I
you got
played
to
the
play it was
playtest.
a 6-hour session.
Yep, I played the playtest.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
that's crazy.
Also, I think I fixed my fucking GTA. It was really struggling there for a minute.
Yeah,
Um,
problems.
I was having problems, but I think I fixed it finally. So after podcast, I can play for a little bit before I go to class at 2 o'clock.
Mm. Yeah, sadly the COD beta ends like right when the podcast ends, so I won't be
Yeah,
playing it today.
damn. Well,
We'll be back
it'll
on
be
Friday
back
though.
on Friday. Yeah. And some other news, kind of COD related, kind of not. So this is what a few days ago was the 31st. 31st is like Saturday, right? Yeah. So Saturday, it seems that a lot of people were laid off of the optics staff. Um, it looks like it's mainly talent, upper management, and some production staff that will remain.
Yeah, I
Um,
would say probably a lot of back end people got laid off.
yeah, which is like I kind of understand. I mean, we've been seeing it. Fuck, we've been seeing it through so many different organizations in the past like year or
Yeah,
so. Like
kind of makes sense.
the economy is just not in a good spot for gaming right now. People are having to use credit cards to pay for their groceries. They're not going to be, buying a face shirt or an optic shirt. You know what I mean? Like their money's limited, so they're going to spend it in the best way that they possibly can, and that's on like the essentials and not extra stuff,
Yeah,
which is totally understandable. I mean, the whole industry kind of went into a recession after the boom of COVID. I mean, I've been watching a few podcasts recently, the with Nade Shot, and he like actually talks about it. And my speculation, I've been kind of like speculating on what's going on. It's pretty like spot on. Like I'm pretty much there with um what's been going on behind the scenes, and it's these investors came in thinking they were gonna get a shitload of money, and then they came in, spent a shitload of money, and then
yeah, they
didn't.
overspent and overpaid people.
Yeah, and they didn't realize that they weren't going to get an immediate return on their investment. It was going to be, this was going to be a longer thing. It wasn't going to be a 3-year turnaround like they anticipated or that they wanted. Um,
That's like the
so
thing about like how Nate Shot was talking about after 100 Thieves won champs in Vanguard, how they literally won champs in Vanguard, but yet they still like net lost money for that season.
yeah.
Like that's insane.
Well, part of the reason for that is so. I also heard this. I watched like 3 Nate Shot podcasts at work the other day of him talking about like 100 Thieves and stuff like that on like non-gaming podcasts. So these are just like other podcasts. So like he really went into detail about people that don't understand the scope of the industry. So like so you guys know how like most organizations take a percentage of winnings from players because they pay all their entries and salaries and stuff like that, and have like the staff or whatever. The 100 Thieves does not do that. All their players win 100% of their winnings. So that's probably one reason why they had a net loss even though they won.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So most of their revenue comes from majority of the like there's a breakdown of it. Shit. We should find the fucking clip, but most of their revenue comes from like the merchandise and that they sell. You know,
Yeah, and it makes sense if the economy's bad and people aren't buying the merch. It's like teams not making money.
100 Thieves.
Yeah, they sell a
Income.
Pokemon shirt for $1,000.
Yeah. Uh. Yeah. So Thieves. Wikipedia. No, I want that clip from YouTube. Shit. You keep talking about this while I try to find this clip.
I mean, you're the expert here. I
Alright,
just look
fuck.
at it, bro.
Alright. I'll just go into my history real quick. Anyway, so I'll just babble, like I'll yap while I find this. So he broke down pretty much the income ratios of of 100 Thieves, you know, where they make the money, where they don't make the money, etc., etc. And so when talking about this, is just like they had really, really good income their first few jobs, like when they were earlier in their time. Okay, here's one of them. I don't want to watch an ad. Thank you very much. Um, so he goes on this podcast. It's called the 505 Podcast. Let me see. So they get like, you know, like remember when they first got like the $10 million in series of investments, build a compound, whatever. Um,
Yeah, they got that Scooter Braun investment.
yeah. I'm trying to find the clip.
eSports right now.
When you first get the idea to start your
So he started it, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I'm trying to find the breakdown. I don't. But anyway, like majority of their sales, so they make like 2.5 million ever, like easy.
Yeah.
On the sales, like profit on these sales, every time they do a drop, right, for a long time. And now, you know, because they would immediately sell out. I mean, you guys remember that time of 100 Thieves where they would just immediately, you know, within the first hour of the drop, sell out, right? But after a few years, you know, you get your merch, you have like really you don't have the extra funds, you know, the economy's bad, whatever, you're not spending money on that, on like merchandise like that. So, you know, their sales go down, they're not immediately selling out. You know, people already have 100 Thieves merch. You know, they don't, it's not like as like exclusive because they do like 3-4 drops a year. And then they also like,
Yeah, they have that collections thing too that's up permanently.
yeah. So like there's a lot of merch to be bought, and not everybody has the money to buy all that merch, you know.
Yeah, I've never personally bought any 100 Thieves merch.
I just can't afford it. I want it so bad, I just can't afford it.
I always wanted that one that they put out back in like 2018. That was like the red, black, and white hoodie, bro.
Oh yeah.
That was like the best one
Yeah.
that they've ever put out. I think.
Well, I really like. I was like, I want something, and I was just like, all I can really afford is like a keychain. I was like, I'm not buying 100 Thieves keychain, and that's it.
Yeah,
So-
like it's like I want to buy all these things, but all I can get is a sticker, bro.
I can get a sticker. And that's why I try to make like Scorpion Syndicate merch affordable. Speaking of which, I've been having so much difficulty with the fucking printer. I've had to resubmit the image like 5 times because it wasn't to their specifications. So, whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, it's. I think I finally got it though, so we'll see. But anyway, so you know these orgs are having to make like some big changes, and one of those big changes is, you know, laying people off. I mean, a lot of these jobs can be done by more like less people. I mean, yeah, it's great to like lessen the workload on some people. Yeah, I like, but at the same time, I mean, like the Scorpion Syndicate's super small, and I like it that way. Because one, I don't want to like, because upscaling like that leads to layoffs. Like every single one of those businesses upscaled like crazy, you know, like Optic, like when they merged with Envy, they like doubled their everything, you know, so they had to do the initial layoffs, and then they kept a bunch of people, and they're like, hey, like we don't know like what to do with all these people, and then they downsized their office. They just moved back into the hex quarters. So like,
Dude, that's crazy. I wonder what that like MV headquarters like. I wonder if that whole thing is going down or if Optics is moving out of there.
I think Optic's moving out of there, along because Envy and Optic are like the same now. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it would be. I think it would. I don't think it would surprise me if that whole headquarters just went down.
I think
If they just left.
I think that whole headquarters is just gonna be like up for sale again. I think they're just gonna. I think it's just gonna go up for rent or whatever. I don't think Optic owned the building, but it's probably gonna go up for rent, and go to another business. Probably not in esports. They did have a good location though.
Yeah, bro. It was right outside the American Airlines Center.
Yeah,
They always talked about how it was great when the Dallas Mavericks would have a game because they could just walk over there.
yeah. But I mean, I understand. Like, I mean, if you think about it, like, I mean, if they're downsizing back to the hex quarters, they're laying off people. They're definitely having money problems. I mean, like that place is probably super expensive to rent out, to lease or whatever because of its location. I mean, location is like one of the number one influences on price, other than like square footage. But like, location is like the number one, and then it's like
Yeah.
size. That's like pretty much it. Location then size. Um, and then
I mean, the whole
quality.
economy thing is the same thing about like people moving out of California. Like Nate
Yeah.
Shot's moved to Texas now.
Yep. Like California is not the place to be right now. If you're,
I would say that Texas is probably the best place to be because like
uh,
I don't think there's like I could be wrong, but I don't think Texas has a property tax.
I don't think so
So
either. I'm gonna look it up.
I think that's why everybody likes going to Texas.
Texas is definitely, yeah. Texas has no state property tax. So, I
Yeah, so
mean,
like housing, even though housing is really expensive still, because
I
it's
mean,
expensive everywhere, there's
yeah,
no property tax, so that's
would
taken off a lot.
yeah, and I mean, like they were living in fucking. They bought a house in L.A. That's one of the most expensive places to live in the country, other than like New York City.
Yeah, I
Um,
remember like Valkyrie talking about how she could get like a crazy like full size house for in like Texas for less than she paid for her apartment in California.
yeah,
I was like, bruh.
yeah, yeah. It's bad. Like my, so you remember, like, so I, you know how a couple like about like a month ago, month and a half ago, I went to visit my family that lives out in California. They told us how much they're, spending to buy a home, and it's the same home would get them like, would be like a tenth. It's like 10 times more than it would be here in like upstate New York, the home that they're
Ooh,
buying. So yeah,
that's bad.
yeah. So, you know, like it's a steep thing, and that's one of the reasons why I don't want to, like, with the syndicate. Like that's one of the things. It's like you learn from these bigger organizations, these pioneers in the industry, because they are the ones making all the mistakes for you. So if you learn from those mistakes before they happen to you, you set yourself up for better. So like when we settle down, um like Briss and I definitely want to like travel and live different places for a little bit. And I don't know where they want to go to school, but like once we settle down and like buy a home and like make like a compound or whatever for like an office for the syndicate, that's something that's in the cards for us. Hopefully it is. Where we're going to like one of the cheaper states to live that's still like accepting, you know what I mean? Because as a gay couple, you kind of have to think about those things as well, when figuring out where you want to live. So, um, yeah, and now we have now. Oh my God, deception! I don't think I've talked to you since this happening. Riss and I are getting a cat.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh wait, you said very demure to Riss's story. He told me about that.
I felt like it was fitting.
It was good. It was good. We got a little chuckle. Riss was impressed. Um, but yeah, we're getting a cat. Her name's Sammy. She's from my grandparents' house. Um, as you guys know, last year my grandpa passed away, and this was like his cat. Like
Mm.
she only liked him for attention, and she would ignore everybody else or get mad at everybody else. So she's been very lonely. So Riss and I have talked about it. We asked my grandma for like her blessing to adopt her. So we are currently prepping our apartment for Sammy, our Sammy girl, to join the party. So there could be a cat cam coming in the future. That's for sure.
Cat Cam would be crazy.
Yeah. Currently right now so she's living in a basement right now because she doesn't like other cats. She hates other cats. And my grandma has a lot of other cats. And my aunt moved in, and my aunt also has a lot of cats. Um,
Oh, so it's just like Cat City in that
yeah,
house.
and she hates cats. She's alone in the basement, and so we're trying to make it. We're trying to like make all her stuff in like one room, so like she doesn't have to, be social if she doesn't want to, or she can like warm up to it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like she doesn't have to like to get food. She doesn't have to go across the apartment and like interact with anything. Like it's all just gonna be right there for her. And then as time goes on, we're gonna slowly like move it away from that space to try to get her to um traverse the apartment a little better. Um,
Mhm.
so
Makes sense.
we're very excited for her arrival. She's the official cat. She's not even here yet. She's the official cat of my esports club at my college campus. So she's already loved. Um, but yeah, we're very excited, and um, you guys will meet her very soon. Um,
Mm.
but anyway, back to esports or whatever. Um, but yeah, so it's not surprising that all these layoffs are happening, and they're happening in the spots that they are. People are a little like, I was looking at I like to look at comments on these like posts and stuff like that to kind of see what people are saying about it, and it's pretty negative. Like a lot of it's pretty negative, which is to be expected. I mean, people are losing their jobs. And it's not the negativity coming from the people that lost their jobs, it's coming from the community itself. And a lot of people are saying like, oh, Maniac and Bose should be kicked or whatever. But don't like I don't think Bose and Maniac are making as much money from Optic as y'all think they are. I'm pretty
I don't
sure
know. I
like
think Bose is, but not the Maniac.
not Maniac, but like I think
Bose
pretty
is a part owner, so
yeah, I think yeah, Bose has like shares in Optic. So he's can't really be fired. Like he'd have to be like voted off and removed and
we
like
also don't know what's going on behind the scenes because
it's
I
true.
definitely. The thing is a lot of people make those assumptions just based on the fact that they aren't streaming or they aren't making content.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they're not doing other things around the org. Like
Yeah.
Bose is a part owner. Like he's probably definitely making like big decisions
Yeah, he probably
and
does what Nate
probably
Shot does and goes to like a meeting, like there's
yeah,
probably
he's
they
probably like he's probably working on a lot of good stuff because like him and Create have like Rich and Lonely. I'm sure that I'm sure that him being a part owner, he probably is looking at like the vision for like merch stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like he probably is having some input on that stuff too, since
Yeah.
Rich and Lonely has been so successful.
Like we're
Um,
not there. We don't know. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors. To like a certain extent. I mean, obviously there's leaks and stuff like that, but like on day-to-day operations, we don't know what goes on. Like we're not there. We're not
Optic doesn't even their day to day operations haven't even got leaked that much either.
mm-mm. Like they keep
Like,
things
we really
pretty
don't know anything.
they pretty zipped up tight. They do.
Like we didn't even know that Scump almost died until they talked about it on stream.
Oh, the steak incident with the fajitas?
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. I think
we
you
didn't
sent it to
even
me.
we didn't even know that until on
No.
stream.
But they've been around for so long that they know how to like keep things under wraps. Same thing with FaZe Clan. Like I hadn't heard any FaZe Clan Gfuel leaks before this video that they dropped saying
The
that they
only
were
thing I heard is
that they weren't going to be with Ghost
they.
anymore.
The only thing I heard is there was a lot of rumors and like they said they kind of like teased it a little bit in that video where they went back to the New York house.
Yeah.
Like,
But
but
they
there
did that
wasn't any
shit
like
intentionally though. They do that
yeah, but
intentionally.
yeah, there wasn't any like insider article that was like, "Oh, FaZe is partnering with G Fuel."
No. Like these orgs have been around for so long. They know how to keep these things close tight.
I'm
Um
happy they're partnering with G Fuel again.
oh yeah. It's been a
I'm excited for
mist.
that G Fuel house, and I love
Oh yeah.
the FaZe berry flavor,
It's all coming back,
especially
baby.
the sour
I
FaZe
didn't even know
berry.
why they went to
That flavor
Ghost Gaming to
great.
begin with, but whatever.
I think that was a corporate decision.
Probably.
Because them
Probably
and G
money.
Fuel have always been super tight. So,
Yeah.
and I know that like, I think they probably did it for money because I guarantee you Ghost paid them a bag
Oh,
because
for
I
sure.
had never heard of that company before.
I have.
And
They work with like
after,
Maven and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I had never heard of that company before they signed with FaZe, and after they signed with FaZe, they were everywhere.
Yep.
After they signed with FaZe, like I was seeing Ghost Energy in stores, and like I don't know what happened there, but like that definitely felt like a corporate decision.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In hindsight,
They definitely got paid. They got a hefty bag for it for sure. There's no way they didn't. Um, cough, Rogue,
Ghost is
cough.
right though. Rogue is good.
Rogue is
Rogue is
good.
good.
That was the first ever partnership I've ever had was with Rogue
I would
Energy.
like to see Rogue blow up.
Yeah.
They got good stuff, bro.
Should we no, well, I'm not gonna do that. That's an off.
Oh, leak.
That's an off-camera conversation. Anyway, Hugs, you gonna be at the meeting tonight? We got some shit to talk about. In relation to that. Anyway, what was I saying? Anyway, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, and you know these things. I should be okay. Cool. Sweet. Anyway, I mean, like other than being in an org ourselves, like we don't know. Every company runs themselves differently. We're about to go into a CT scan. Well, good luck. Hopefully, you get the answers you're looking for.
Yeah, you have that contrast flowing through her veins.
Yeah. Fun. Hate scans. Hate it.
I have only had like 3 of them, and one of them is because they messed it up.
I had one for my back when they told me it was broken. I was like, oh, cool.
I had one where they gave me the IV contrast that went through my veins. It made me feel like I had to pee, and then after the CT scan, they discovered that they did it wrong. So I had to sit in the hospital and drink the dumb, like milky contrast stuff.
Ew.
And they do another one.
That's gross.
Yeah, like the contrast tastes like the contrast was like a milkshake with vanilla flavored powder that just chalked up your mouth. It
What
was
the
horrible.
hell? Damn.
It was bad. But yeah.
No, thank you.
I don't know. I'm really excited to see what FaZe ends up doing with Gfuel. I could see this being a revival
Oh, for sure.
of FaZe being really good with Gfuel.
Oh yeah, I think
I remember stuff like when they did. You remember when they did the G Fuel challenge, where it was like the cinnamon challenge, but they used G Fuel stick? Oh, that was so funny.
I for sure think that phase is back. Like this is like they're back, and I mean I do have some criticism, obviously, like over the way that they did everything, but we were like we've been saying we were not there, so but I do think with the way that they did everything, not how they handled it, but the way that they did it, cutting down and having people that are genuinely friends again, playing together and living together. I think that's what FaZe Clan needed, and I think the gaming world in general. I feel like we don't give FaZe enough credit in the world of gaming, in like eSports. We really don't, because
I don't give the new FaZe enough credit. I feel like,
no.
I mean, a lot of it's because they've kind of been outside of their viral clips. Nobody really knows what's going on with them. Like,
Except for the 60,000 people that watch the lives,
they've kind of treated this whole new FaZe thing like the old like FaZe from like forever ago, where they're literally just homies playing video games. Like, there's nothing crazy happening. There's not like many crazy collabs. I mean, the G Fuel one is a big one, but like they're not doing crazy collabs all the time. They're not picking up new people all the time. Like, they've literally just like reversed it back to just homies playing video games all the time.
Yeah, I mean, they stripped it down to what works. I mean, it works.
And but I think that's why people don't give FaZe enough credit, is because people see all these other orgs doing crazy stuff and collabs and all that, and FaZe is not doing that. So they've kind of fallen under the radar for people who don't watch FaZe.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're doing a great job.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many people that do.
This rebrand has like this rebrand seems like it's paid off so far.
All right, let's pull up the FaZe Clan YouTube because I remember the last time we kind of talked about it and like their consistency with like videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, let's see what
So
they've done since the
they have
rebrand.
not done anything with the YouTube. They have changed the logo and they've changed the banner. It's loading at 50%. So I think that they haven't done anything with it yet, but they're going to. Um,
I remember the last time I remember anything from FaZe like blowing up anywhere was like they made there were a bunch of them were making MW3 sniping montages during like
mm,
the MW3 beta,
yeah,
and like everybody was like, "Oh, it's FaZe is back,"
yeah,
and then like nothing.
yeah,
The only person that posted MW3 content consistently was Scope after that.
yeah. So, I mean, there really isn't much. I think they deleted a lot of the videos as well. Um, they kept like the big ones and the ones with like the guys.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? I think they gained back some of their support though. They're at 8.52 million subscribers. I think they went down to like 5 million beforehand. But I think they're
Oh yeah,
uh
that's crazy growth for a channel that hasn't posted anything.
yeah. So definitely in like the next, I don't know, few fuck, what words? So probably in the next like couple months they'll like get back on the YouTube grind again. I think they're kind of just starting slowly. I think they're just kind of like doing things as and starting things as they can. They don't want to like just fully switch, you know, all at once, then fail. Start by, these new members getting out in the world, collabing together daily,
Yeah.
living together, the Gfuel, um, the Twitter backup, and then now, I think their next step is probably going to be YouTube now that they're all living together like this. Um, just getting someone to run it. I'm sure they probably already have someone designated for it, but it's definitely like
I wouldn't
probably
be
one of the next
surprised if the
steps.
reason why they're not posting many videos is because they're planning for that Gfuel house.
Probably.
I wouldn't be surprised if like it's a combination of them waiting for the Gfuel house so they can make tons of content for the YouTube, and they might also. I have a feeling that they might be trying to make like a big series, like a Vision slash the Process type
Yeah.
series.
I think part of it too, this is just speculation. I don't know shit. I think they might want to like make the G Fuel House like tour or whatever the first video back. I feel like that
Yeah,
would be
that
like a
would make
good,
sense.
yeah, like
That
open
would
the
be kind of
door.
like when the Optic Scuff House happened.
Yeah,
Because like there wasn't a lot of stuff going on with the Optic YouTube before that.
yeah,
Like they weren't posting too many videos, and they kind of like stopped with content for a little bit,
yeah,
and then like the Scuff House stuff happened, and it just popped off after that.
yeah. I think that's what they might be doing. In my professional opinion and my fan opinion, I think that's what they're gonna do. And if they do that, y'all better blow this episode of the podcast up because we predict shit on this podcast all the time. We
We
predict
predicted
things.
things before.
We have and we will continue to the day we die. Predict things on this podcast. But yeah. What else? Oh, let me talk about esports club for those of you that are interested in college esports. So we had our first meeting Thursday. I think I talked about it last week in the podcast. Guess how many people we had show up?
A lot.
No, like give me a number. Remember, my college campus is like 5,000 students. It's a very small campus. Okay,
Like 30.
dude, 31.
Wow.
Nice, nice. That was good. I like that. That was right on it, right on the nose. Deception with his guessing games. It's too good. Um, but and then we currently have. Let me pull up an exact number for you. 35 members of the club registered as club members. So we're kind of killing it. But we're doing like,
Compared to last year when you'd have like 5 people show up, maybe.
yeah. It was like 8 was like our average. I looked at it, 8 was our average. So this is really great for just the first meeting of the semester. So if you guys don't know, we do like our general meetings happen every Thursday. We have in person, and then this semester we're adding online where we do like 1v1s and stuff like that. So we just pick a few games. We like pulled the membership, like the population of people that we have in the club, and we were like, hey, like, what games do you like to play? And then we looked at the games that we had and what we had available, and we did what we could. Like in person, every Thursday, we do Mario Kart, Super Smash, Mortal Kombat 11, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 19 gunfight 1v1s. So that's what we do in person, and then we also do some online games. We do let me pull it up for exact. We do Valorant, we do Apex kill races, we do League of Legends, Rainbow Six, and Overwatch.
I sent you something that I think you would enjoy.
You did? Uh, dude! Yo, for sure. Yo, Ross's boss, thank you so much for the follow, Logan the Scorpions. Dude, that is fucking. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
That's the freaking trash truck emptying out our dumpster. Could he be any louder?
No.
Apparently not. Yeah, back your ass out of there, dude. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. That's a good idea. I like that. But anyway, so for those of you that are also in college and you know have your esports club, so we do like a point system. So you get points based off of your placements, and then we do rankings, and then at the end of the semester we do a bracket with everybody. We do winners, losers, depending on how many people we have for each game. Smash, we do winners and losers just because that's like the biggest game we have on campus. And then everyone gets put into the leaderboard based off of points, kind of like how you do with like pool play. This is like our pool play. And then the bracket, you know, the best person gets the easier bracket kind of thing. And then they compete to win, to be the best player of that game on campus, and they get a little trophy that is made by 3D printing. So
That's fantastic.
and then we also compete in like the uh our like in New York State league as well, and then for like colleges in New York State, and then we're also joining the ECAC or whatever. I think that's what it's called or something like that. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like more colleges essentially. ECAC, yep. What is the ECAC? ECAC. Eastern College Athletic Conference. So, we're also starting to compete in that next semester because you have to pay dues.
eSports players aren't athletes.
No deception. I like that nasally voice you did. But it's not being considered like a school sport in the same regard, just not a physical sport. So we'll also be competing.
There's tons of college esports teams now. It's
Yeah.
been ever since COVID. Basically, that's been the whole college esports thing has been growing.
Yeah. So
I didn't really hear about it a ton before COVID, but it's kind of been blowing up.
yeah, which is pretty prevalent because just every year we get more and more people. I mean, this year we started out super strong. This is like this is the highest attendance event we've ever had in esports club history at my campus. So
I think you're starting to see it now because like I've seen this a lot. It just seems like ever since COVID, like everybody has become gamers.
Yeah, and there's
And
one
you're
kid.
seeing it.
There's one kid in our club. He played. He says, that he played. I don't know if this is valid or not, but he says that he played Valorant in the eSports World Cup this summer.
That would be insane.
Yeah.
We'll see if he's that good.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll 1v1 him, guys, live on stream for you, and then whoever wins is the truth teller. He'll
I've
probably
been
still.
thinking about playing Valorant on console.
Yeah? Do it. Do
Yeah,
it.
why might play it.
Do it. But I don't know what else is there to really talk about today. I think that's pretty much it.
Other than that, there's really nothing.
I mean, we're still waiting on X Defiant. Just fucking waiting. Just, we need private matches, guys. If you want your game to succeed, past season, like past season 2, like.
I mean, we could talk about that article.
Oh, the Concord one.
Well, Concord shutting down, but we don't need to talk about that. The game showed up and died immediately.
Are you talking about the post-launch support article?
Yeah, there was an article that got put out by Insider Gaming that said that if coming from sources inside Ubisoft, that if X Defiant does not increase its player count and have better player retention by season 3, that post-launch support might be dead.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, like if they release, I don't think they understand how much player base will come back with the release of private matches, because a lot of the community of X Defiant want to play competitively. That was like one of the main attractions of the game. I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, hell, like I have an organization with an X Defiant team that can't fucking play, and then I also am part of an owner of a league that wants to run X Defiant tournaments. So like, what the hell? In X Defiant leagues. So like,
I think a lot of it too for more casual players is we need more challenges.
Yep.
Because like personally, the only reason why I've gotten on X Defiant lately is to do dailies.
Yeah, I gotta do
not many dailies to do, and I've already done all of my other challenges, and there's no new challenges. There were no major challenges in season 1. Like, why?
I gotta do my battle pass. I didn't buy it though, so I could just.
I mean, I gotta do the battle pass too, but like, I don't know. Like, the thing is like, and Mark addressed this. Somebody was talking about it, and he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna address the whole challenge thing and give people more challenges." But like, we need a lot more challenges, and I'm talking like not just overall challenges. We need like camo challenges because
like smaller ones, not like levels.
I understand the sentiment of using weapon levels as a camo challenge, but it's boring.
Yep. There's no,
like,
you just play.
Sitting there, like, just using your gun, not having any challenge. Like, there's no, like, oh, get 100 headshots and you get this camo. Or, like, complete all of these, like, 15 camos and you get a gold camo. Like, that's way more fun than, hey, you get to level 200 and you got gold.
Bro.
Especially when, like, for a lot of casual players, like, I would say on X Defiant, with the way the weapon leveling is, probably only get 1 to 2 levels a game, like max.
Yeah.
And you have to get to 400 to get the max camo right now. Like,
yeah. Oh my god, I hate America, dude. Sidebar. We're gonna end the podcast. Because this is all depressing, this X Defiant stuff. Because, we were so hopeful about this game, and now it's just kind of like shitting the bed, and it's really sad because the game has so much potential.
The game is fantastic from a pure gameplay standpoint, and from like enjoyment of pubs and stuff is great, but it lacks the progression and the content flow.
Yeah.
And considering they've had like 3 years to develop this, like, granted, they're a small dev team. Like, we can't ignore the fact that they're a small dev team, but we also can't excuse the fact that stuff like private matches aren't in the game. And they developed this game for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And also, there's leakers that have found plenty of private match stuff in the code.
Yep.
So it seems like they almost could just turn it on if they wanted to.
Yeah. So please turn it on, for God's sakes, if you want your game to survive, please. Especially with the new Call of Duty coming out and with how hopeful it's looking. Like, everyone was calling XDefiant the COD killer, but XDefiant's killing itself right now, and it's sad. It's sad. But
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because I know COD could have done this in response to XDefiant. Although from Treyarch's standpoint, I think a lot of it's genuine. But like, you look at XDefiant, who was, they were all like, we're gonna have an awesome camo system. We're gonna have great camos. We're gonna have traditional classic prestiges like you knew in the old CODs. And then they drop the ball on that, and like the camos are locked by level, and there's only 6 of them. The rest of them you have to buy or get the battle pass. And then you have traditional and classic prestiges not here yet. They weren't even there in season 1 when we thought they would be after our preseason, and who knows when they're even going to be there, because we haven't really heard anything about it. And then Treyarch is just like, oh yeah, we're bringing classic prestiges and a better weapon camo system to Black Ops 6, and the camos are great. So
yeah.
and even like with all that, they even beat that by there's not going to be any weapon level requirements for getting camos. So you can just start camo grinding as soon as you pick the gun up.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's XDefiant has some self-reflecting to do.
XDefiant genuinely has the ability to be a great game. And I think like whether you like XDefiant and play it all the time, or whether you would rather play COD or any other shooter than XDefiant, you should be rooting for XDefiant, because that's competition.
Yeah.
And that XDefiant has clearly had at least a little bit of an impact to make other games like COD better.
Yep.
So I would love that game to keep going, even if it doesn't quite match the numbers of COD or whatever. Like, if that game keeps going and people keep talking about it, other games are going to have to innovate, or they're going to fall behind and people are going to go play XDefiant.
Same thing with like Splitgate too, though. Like the alpha was really good, and if this game can make a
that
comeback,
honestly, like that game was awesome. I had fun with that game.
So like competition is good, guys. It's what makes these games better. Nothing could touch Call of Duty for so long, and that's why they could get away with putting out such shit games for us to play. And now that there's more competition from shooters and small development teams doing all this, like these small development teams are putting out such good games, when these billion-dollar industry freaking corporate development teams are putting out horrible games. It's just like, what's the excuse? Because there is none. You're just not caring, and now they're forced to care. But whatever. But anyway, I'm gonna start getting angry at the world anyway. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the Climb Together podcast. I have been your host, Tonage Scorpio, with my co-host Deception. Deception, say bye.
Bye.
If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys like the video if you're watching it on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel where we have all the other episodes for you to watch and enjoy from the past almost 3 years of our lives, documented on podcast for you. And if you guys are watching live on Twitch, make sure you follow the streams, twitch.tv/tonage_scorp and twitch.tv/deception276. We stream these live every Wednesday at 12 p.m. EST. Now that I'm back in school, I don't work on Wednesdays because of my class schedule, so we're sticking with noon going forward here, consistently. And yeah, so we'll see you guys next time. Peace.